Welcome back. Today we're going to continue our demonstration of some recipes for the Chinese New Year, also known as the Lunar New Year, and it's the year of the ox. One of the traditions in the Lunar New Year is something called long life noodles. So there's an old thought in Chinese cooking especially, is that if you have long noodles, you will also have a long life. So for long life noodles, when you eat them, you want to make sure that you don't cut them or bite them until you've got the whole noodle in your mouth, which makes for a lot of slurping. So we're going to do a really simple recipe, and it's going to be a soup, because soup is easier to slurp than just stir fry. So let's get started. So this is going to be really simple. We've got some all-purpose flour right here, and that's about a half a cup that we have in here. And rather than measuring, what we'll do is we'll determine the amount of egg and flour based on the texture of our dough. And the texture that we're going to be looking for is uncooked couscous. So let's mix this right in. That was a large egg. We'll just let that process for a minute or so to give that egg a chance to mix in. And we'll take a look at this now, and you'll see it's starting to form small pellets, but they're a little bit finer than we would like, which means they're a little bit dry. So we're going to add just a teaspoon of water. We'll process that in. This is, you really want to make sure you don't add too much. It doesn't take much liquid one way or the other to be too wet or too dry. If it starts to form a ball, then it's too wet. So let's take a look at this. So you can see it's formed this ball. So that tells us the dough is now too wet. Fortunately, I've got just a little bit of flour here, and I'm gonna just sprinkle a little bit on, maybe a teaspoon in the other direction. And should just break that ball up. Here's our ball again. So we'll put in another teaspoon. It's tempting to put in a tablespoon, but then it could be too dry. I think this will be good. So you can take a look at that. And what I want to have happen is when I reach in and I press those little pellets together, they just should form a ball of dough, but the dough is dry enough so it doesn't stick to me, to my fingers. So this is perfect. This is great. All right, I'm gonna let this rest for a few minutes. If I wanted to, I could start rolling this out right now, and I'll explain why in a minute. We don't have to let this set, but it doesn't hurt. So let's head over to the soup. It's a very basic soup. what I've got is some leftover broth that we had from some other soups. You can use your favorite, you know, if you boil up chicken carcasses or meat bones, or even if you just get some bouillon and make some broth. To this boiling broth, I'm going to add a few things in advance. So these are dried sliced mushrooms, and these are what are known as tree ear mushrooms. And when they reconstitute, they're going to be a little bit crispy. So crispy tree ear mushrooms. If you want to use fresh mushrooms, you can do that. But we'll just put those in. And it's good to just do that a little bit in advance to give the mushrooms a chance to soften up. I'm also going to put in some sliced up pork. And this is boneless spare rib, southern style spare rib, that I've cut just into really small bite-sized pieces. And rather than fry these, I'm going to poach these up right in there. So I'll put those right in. And that's about a 1/4 pound into probably 3 cups of broth, if you're measuring. You don't have to measure. And this will, that pork is going to cook up almost immediately, and it's also going to take on the flavor of the broth with the pork. All right. So we're going to head back to our noodles. We'll let that heat up. So long life noodles. We're going to roll these out, and we're going to make them long. We're going to make them maybe 24 inches, 2 feet long, 2 foot long noodles. So that's pretty long. So I've got the dough. And what I'll do is I'll form it into a cylinder and flatten that right out. And I'm actually going to use my pasta roller as a way to knead the dough. So there's a lot of pressure here. It's on the widest setting. I'm going to fold it in half. So these rollers are putting a lot more pressure on the dough than I could put on with my hands. So I'm going to make that thinner, put that through. There we go, we'll fold that in half again. So again, I'm just kind of mechanically kneading that dough. So now I'm going to make this thinner. You can see it's going to get longer. It's about 1 foot now. And now it's even longer. It's not going to take us long to get to the 2 feet. Whew. All right, and we're going to go to the, live dangerously, I'm going to go to the thinnest setting. This is going to be well over 2 feet. And that's okay. So if the dough were too wet, we'd be in trouble now because it'd be falling apart. So that's the thinnest setting. You can see right through those noodles, or the noodle. So what I'll do now is I'm going to let this rest for a second just because I want to get everything else ready. So pork is all cooked up. There it is there. Here's the pork and mushroom. Very good. Let's add some more ingredients. Let's put in some carrots. And I'm going to julienne these carrots. I'm going to use this. This is called a julienne peeler. And it basically is going to make strips. Almost like noodle carrots. For the carrot noodles. We'll just do that until we can't do it anymore. There we go. And put these guys in. So we put these in after the pork and the mushrooms. They don't have to cook quite as long. I'm also going to add another type of mushroom for flavor, and these are called enoki mushrooms. And they're crunchy, but they're long and skinny. Again, they're almost like noodles with kind of little tops. I'll just separate those out. You can buy these in most Asian grocery stores. They come in plastic baggies. I'll just put those in. So they'll add a nice flavor and texture. There we go. And the last thing I'm going to prepare is just a little bit of bok choy. And these are baby bok choy. So baby bok choy are not young, big bok choy. Baby bok choy is actually a different type of bok choy. I'll cut the heel off. And these are hydroponically grown, so there's no dirt in them, which is great. Nice and easy. And we'll just I'm going to slice these into small pieces. I'm just going to put that in the bottom of our bowl because I just want those to be lightly blanched by the hot broth when we put it in. All right. So let's go back to our noodles now. And what we're going to do is we're basically going to prepare these noodles, make the noodles, and then we're going to put them right into the boiling broth. So we're going to get that boiling. Let's switch this over and make skinny noodles. Yes, these are long, so we'll have a very long life if we eat these. So we'll put these right in. Here we go. I want to come around this way. So you can see them coming right out. These are long noodles. Whoa! All right. So we want to make sure our broth is boiling. Pork is completely cooked. Our dried mushrooms are reconstituted. Our carrots are still crispy. So we'll just drop these guys in. Give them a quick stir. There we go. All right. And these will literally take 2 minutes to cook up. So while we're doing that, let's get some serving utensils here. All right. That broth broth is boiling again. All right, so let's get some ingredients first. So into our soup, let's grab some beef, no, not beef, pork, mushrooms and carrots. All right. And I'm gonna pour some broth in here. That's hot broth. Shut the heat off. And let's grab some of our long life noodles. Yeah, okay, I've got to clear everything here. There we go. All right. Here we go. All right. So now for the challenge. Double challenge. Not burn myself and see if I can get a long life noodle here. Or more. All right, there's a noodle. There's a noodle. That's how you do it. One more time. Well, that was good. So, there you have it. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Long life noodles. We'll see you next time.